Let's see, because that's there you are. Good morning,
Hello.
beautiful. How are you?
I'm
Welcome
good. How are
again.
you? I love it.
Chose. When I tell you, I'm just going to jump right in because I have been watching you since, I don't know, when you first came on the scene. And I was like, oh, we started at the same like weight because I was at 282.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's around my. And so this is why you can't compare your journey to someone else's, because I have been on my journey for 22, 24 months at the end of this month, right? And I'm down 70. Chelsea has been on her journey for how many months, and tell us how much you're down.
Alrighty. Hello. Good morning, everybody. I started my journey April 22nd. So it's been about, 10 months and some change.
Okay.
Um, and I'm down 84 pounds.
See what I'm saying? Now, if I wasn't if I wasn't the person that I am, I would compare myself to Chelsea and be somewhere sitting depressed. Like, how is it that I've been on this journey for 2 years and I'm down 70 and she's down, you said 84?
84, yes.
84 in 10 months, right? Everyone's journey is different. And I think that we have to do a better job at letting people know, especially that's new coming into this community, that it's okay. It's okay. Your journey is yours, right? Everybody's body is so different. You can't get caught up, first of all, in that thing on the floor, the number, but
Yes.
then her body is different. I'm in a 48-year-old menopausal type 2 body, right?
Yeah.
Chelsea, tell us about your journey. What got you started in this community and on your journey?
Like you said, I was 282. I'm only 5 foot, so small
Okay,
frame.
right.
And I just did not feel good. I struggled with my weight for all my life pretty much, but it just got really bad after 2020. We all know what happened there.
Right.
And it just went downhill for the last like 5 years or so. And
Okay.
I knew I needed to make a change. I have a 12-year-old daughter, and it just really hit like reality for me that like I can't keep living like this. I was dealing with chronic inflammation. I, worked in childcare for years, so I was on and off the floor, with the kids, and I
Okay.
would come home every day and just like pain. And when I started seeing people's like going on live and stuff like that,
Right.
I really realized that a lot of people were talking about inflammation, and I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
that's something I could really benefit from.
Right.
And then on top of that, my blood pressure was out of control and all of that. And when it happened to be my daughter's grandma on her dad's side, who wouldn't even like, I grew up with and wouldn't even take Tylenol or anything like that.
Really?
She called me and she was like, you need to get on these
Come
medications.
on now.
And she was like, I just feel so much better. And that's what prompted me to get started on my journey. And I was like, what's holding me back? I can keep doing the same thing I've been doing in misery,
Right.
or start going after it. And that's why a lot of people don't realize that, like, yeah, I'm down like 84, but I had so much inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
By week 6, I was down 26 pounds. And I always joke about how that was all inflammation. Because
Wait,
I just
wait. We
felt,
got to pause. We got to pause right there.
okay.
How much?
So, by week 1, I was down 7. And then by week 2, I was down another 7. So that was like 14. And then by week 6, I was down 26 pounds, all on 2.5.
What?
Yeah,
Girl,
it was
we
crazy.
gotta clap for that. But I didn't know until I was in Shannon's live one morning that that initial high number of weight loss was inflammation. Like,
Yeah.
I thought I was doing the damn thing, right? And so you and that's why I love Shannon, because Shannon, to give it to you, she give it to you real and honest. It's coming from a loving place. But she was just like, she wasn't talking to me, but she was talking to me. She was talking to somebody in the comments and was
Yeah.
like, sis, I hate to burst your bubble, but that was all inflammation. I was like, what? She's talking
Right.
to me. Like, it was all inflammation. And then so somebody came into my live the other morning and was trying to comfort one of my Team TMI members, saying, girl, be quiet. It was the weight loss. And so we
Well,
at an age and stage now of life where we're not arguing with people, especially
no,
if I
for
know I'm
real.
right. I'm not going back and forth with you, girl. You got it. It's all
We
right.
ain't doing it.
I know it was inflammation. We all know on this side that it was inflammation, but if it may help you sleep better at night to think that it was the weight loss, girl, do you. We're not doing that. But it was just like, we had a conversation later and was just like, we all know that that was the inflammation. Okay, get back to your story. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, it was crazy because that's how I felt. And then the 26 pounds of like inflammation made me just feel so much better. Like I was still at my, highest I've ever been, but I just could walk easier. Like it was just my joints felt better. So I
Right.
was like, and then I knew that that was like okay because at first I was like 26 in 6 weeks, that's crazy. But then once I
Right.
actually felt the inflammation being gone, I was like, wow, this is a truly game changer. And
Right.
then, I didn't sit around and just like use the medication as an excuse. I got up and I got it done. I'm at the gym, every day or five to
I
six days
see
a week
you.
because we find it balance.
Right.
Um, but I don't do crazy things in the gym. I think a lot of people think I'm like in there for 2 hours when I just do most of the time 45 minutes to an hour. And I do a lot of incline walking because I am short frame. The high
Okay.
intensity workouts that I was putting myself through was not helping my cortisone levels and all of the above. So I
Really?
just figured out what worked for me. And I think
Okay.
that's how I've been able to just be so successful because of the fact is I didn't fully say I'm going to change everything in my life and that's it. I
Right.
slowly changed my habits and unlearned my bad habits, right? Because at the end of the day, I've been doing them for I'll be 29 next month, so 29 years. I had to give
Right.
myself grace and realize that instead of trying to like revamp and make so much good habits, I had to fully unlearn my old ones. Um
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
I love that. And just like I said, I can't compare my 48, right, type 2 menopausal body to a 29-year-old. Like, that would be insane. Everyone's journey is their own. Don't look at someone online and be like, oh, I go to the gym like her and her diet is almost the same as mine. Why is she losing faster than me? Everyone's journey is their own. So, speaking of that, tell us what a day in the life of eating with Chelsea is.
Um, so I always say, because I go on live a lot, and when people say, "What do you eat? What are your calories?" Stuff like that, I'm like, I'm not going to tell you because everybody's different.
Right.
And unless you're 198 pounds and 5 foot, it's not
Right.
truly gonna, and even if you were, it's not truly gonna be the same for everybody.
Right.
So I always tell everybody what works for me personally is focusing on, protein, making sure I
Okay.
get my protein in, but also just uncomplicating it. Stop going on TikTok looking at the ingredients of a recipe that's like 52 items. Find a
Right.
protein, find a veggie you like, find a complex carb, and it can all be so simple. So that's what I really tell people because at the end of the day, I like green beans. So that's what you'll catch me eating as a vegetable. I ain't going to get asparagus just because Nancy online is getting asparagus. So
Right.
it's like you really have to find what you truly like. And then it's easy. I'm a protein girly for real. I've always liked protein. So it's really easy for me to be like, hey, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna have Greek yogurt with raspberries because it's high
Okay.
fiber, high protein, and that's how I want to start my day. And that's a lot what I did in the beginning of my journey as well.
Okay.
And then, air fryer my bestie. Me and my air fryer go like this.
You and me both, sister. You and
Chicken
me both.
wings,
Right.
chicken thighs. I really love chicken wings in the air fryer because it almost gives you that like, restaurant chicken wing vibe type of thing.
Right. Right. Like the deep fried vibe.
Yes. And so I
Yeah.
always do
Yep.
that. And then what I always say too with meal prep, so I like to do versatile during the week. I'll put some chicken in the oven and some in the air fryer. So during
Okay.
the week, it's different, and we don't get bored.
Right.
Um, but yeah, that's pretty much what I eat. Chicken wings, chicken thighs, steak and eggs. I really focus on protein, and I get my green beans in too. Uh,
I'm not mad at it. Was there any hesitation in the beginning about starting the medication? Did you have any hesitations about it or
Yeah.
reservations?
I
You
was
did?
scared. I was scared of needles. You know, I was the
Okay.
type that had to sing to get her blood drawn. Okay, it was not a vibe.
What?
I really don't like needles, even though I have 5 tattoos. Right? Okay. So I literally was like, "Come on!" And then once I like realized like the insulin needle, it's really small. So
Right.
like I got over that, but like my first video ever of me taking my first shot, it took me forever to actually do it.
How long? Okay, if you tell me your time frame, I'll tell you mine.
Okay, so well actually, it's like I was thinking about it for, close to a year and stuff like that. And then I
Okay.
finally like made the jump to actually get on it.
Okay. So how long from the time that you filled the prescription did you give yourself your first
Oh
injection?
girl, when it came, I was ready. I was ready.
Oh,
It
you was
came
ready.
two
Okay.
days before my birthday, and I literally took it 2 days before my birthday. I was like, happy birthday to me.
I know that's right. So it took me from November of 22 to March of 23 to get my mind right to take
Oh
my first
my
injection. Girl.
And I bet you were kicking yourself after, like, wow, I really should have started.
Oh, I was like, you waited all these months for this little prick? Like, I
Literally.
had never given myself an injection. And I'm one of those people, when I go to the doctor, I'm holding my breath
Yeah,
while they, going in my arm. I'm like,
you
you
too.
really wasted all this time? Like, it was just sitting in the refrigerator. And I would look at it and close the refrigerator and go about my day.
Girl.
I was, it was bad.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
bad.
Yeah,
It
when people
was.
tell me that, I'm like, go get it right now. Go get
Right.
it. Do it right
Right.
now.
It's a real fear. And it wasn't even, it was a fear. So it was a few things. It was the taking the injection, right? Because I didn't know if it was gonna hurt. But then it was also kind of like subconsciously like, what if this is the thing that works? What if this really like
Now
gets
change is
you
going to
to,
happen.
yeah, and are
Mhm.
you ready for that? So
Exactly.
I battled with that mentally before I even did my first injection. Okay, let me be quiet because this isn't about me, it's about you. Now,
No, but I totally
because,
understand that because I felt the
right,
same way. Like I did, like leading up to it, did my research, kept making excuses. Oh, I don't want loose skin. Oh, I don't want to deal with this. It was just so many excuses that held me back. But the fear of my health. I did get on this for weight loss too, but like my health was like number one.
right,
I was only 20, what, 27, I'm 28 at the time,
right,
and I was on blood pressure medicine, the highest dose. My blood pressure was really out of control. And that's the number one thing that kind of prompted me to like, do you want to live in your reality and live in fear, or do you want to break free from it and actually be
absolutely,
everything that you want and you can be? I
absolutely,
truly worked on myself a lot. I think that a lot of people think they can just get on these medicines and then it's all rainbows and fairies. But the truth of it is, you truly do have to work on your mental health as well because sometimes I'll look at videos and I'm like, that's not me. What? And you
right,
have to have your brain catch up with you because that's super important, you
right.
know?
I've been experiencing that where my mind isn't like caught up with my body
Mhm.
because when I go online to do some shopping, I'm still looking at the 2X, knowing that
Me
I'm in a
too.
large. I'm in
Yeah,
a large. But my mind just like, what if the large don't fit? And it's
right.
like, but you already got shirts in the closet that's a large and they fit. So why wouldn't it fit? Like it's just a battle before I even hit the submit button. And in the beginning, when I was first in the large, I would still get the 2X. Like
Yeah,
I was still getting it because, and I think the reason why I chose halfway through my journey to join Fridays was because I needed that extra support.
you
I
need
needed the
to.
mental health coaching.
Mhm.
I needed to have those sessions with Dr. Joy, like for slow responders. I needed that. And so like I'm always telling people, whether you're in the beginning or the middle or the end of your journey, because now they offer maintenance, like you
Yeah,
need that support. It's the support that I didn't know that I needed. What
yeah.
made you what made you decide to join? Because I saw, listen, you go it any morning you get up, you're gonna see Chelsea on there. And most of the time she was sitting on the floor, and I'd be like, girl, how you down there? Because I need help getting up. I'd be like, what? And you just sit and you so comfortable.
I
Like, how
love
did
it.
all of that happen?
Yeah, so I don't know. One thing about me is that I've always, I've loved creating and filming, and I've loved YouTube for years. So I kind of felt like this GLP-1 journey was low key my comeback, okay? Because
Okay.
back in 2017, I posted a lot on Insta. It was mostly TikTok wasn't around. So
Okay.
it was a lot of like I lost weight there, not a great way,
Right.
and I wanted this to be my comeback journey. So I was like, I am tracking every little bit of this journey
Okay.
because I want people to know that it's okay if you've lost and regained. That's not the end of your journey.
Right.
You can still get up and do everything that you want to do, and it doesn't
Right.
matter if people are watching and judging. And I wanted to be that voice for people, and and I love how you've been actually watching me from the beginning of my journey because I'm
Right.
sitting on that floor in front of the books.
Yes, ma'am.
And this the connection that I found through the GLP-1 community and just
Okay.
people curious in general about the medication, and then fully witnessing me do it is
Right.
just motivation that I feel like everybody could use in their life. I got my sisters watch my journey now. Two of them out of four are on a GLP-1. So I just
Okay. Look at you motivating the
yeah.
family.
Yes, we're over here trying to break generational curses, and that's what
Absolutely.
matters to me. We have a bunch of kids. Okay, well, I have one, but my sisters, they have a bunch of kids. And for me, my main goal is for their group of generation not to have to grow up with the things that we did with
Right.
obesity, dealing with all of that stuff. That is my main goal. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, when I started tracking my journey, I didn't think that it would like lead to as much as it did lead to,
Right.
but I know I'll never stop. Even if one person is watching, you never know who you could reach. Um, so yeah, I guess I kind of just started because I wanted to let people know that even if you've done it before, you gained it back, you don't have to hide and be ashamed.
Right.
This is your life, you know,
Right.
and that's real life. My journey isn't perfect, and nobody's is.
Right.
Um,
No, you're
so
right. And I think that sometimes people do hide and feel shameful. Like I was all over the socials posting and then I gained it back. People gonna look at me crazy. But I
yeah,
think that that's what draws people in more because they're in the same position, right? Somebody may have lost 110 years ago and they're starting their journey over. And I think that that's why people have been so drawn to you is because you give it to us real, authentic, every day. You put enough out there to keep us watching, but you're not out here just telling all your business. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes it's a fine balance, and people sometimes come on and they just tell too much. And they be like, why do I know that? I don't need to know that part. Right? I mean, and that's saying a lot coming from some team TMI. Cause
yeah.
listen,
Because at
right?
the end
That's
of the day, it's kind of like I'm here to motivate people, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm gonna come to the internet and give joy to you. That's my purpose. I don't want to
right,
bring you down with my problems or nothing like that because you
right.
guys have enough of your own. We're here to lift you up and support you. That's the type of
Absolutely.
vibes I'm on, and I know that's the type of vibes you're on too.
Absolutely. Now, have you had any pushback yet in your journey from anyone in your family that's like you getting too small? Because I've been hearing a lot of those conversations lately for people that have lost 50 plus. They like their family is scared, right? Like nervous for them. Have you experienced any of that?
So I have not, but I do know that a lot of it stems from they're projecting their weight problems onto you.
Right,
And I was just talking about this in my live the other day because she was so scared to start because her family's so mean and all of this stuff. And I'm like, at the end of the day, and I don't mean to be dramatic, but they're going to be the ones wishing that you had done something if you, God forbid, something happens, you're in the hospital or something because of the
right,
reality you live in. And it's
right,
hard for a lot of people to face the reality of obesity, but
right.
you kind of have to. because at the end of the day, we can just glide through life, but it's our health that matters.
It
And
is.
that's what comes into play. And that's what I always tell them to tell their family that, like, you don't want them to be at your bedside in the hospital. You want to further your life in a better way. And if they
Right.
can't understand that, protect your peace. And
That part.
also, you don't, no one deserves to know about your journey. If you don't want anyone to know, they don't need to know.
Right.
It's like it's
Right.
up to you who you choose to tell, and that's another
Right.
thing I'm talking about.
I had spoken to some
Yeah.
people in the beginning, and they were just like, "You guys are the only ones that know that I'm on this journey," and I was
Hmm.
like, "But why?" I'm screaming it from the
Me too,
rooftops. I'm
girl.
telling everybody. I'm like, "Girl," especially now because I can look at some. This just me. I think that I could look at somebody and tell if they have a lot of inflammation in their body,
Yeah, you can.
right?
You for sure
Right?
can.
And I'm looking at people. I'm like, you really need this. I'm
I
saying in
say
my
that a
mind,
lot
I would
too. Girl, I
never,
do.
right? I would never, but I'm just looking at people and I'm like, you could really benefit
Because it
from
would
this.
benefit them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at people and I'm just like, you know. Anyway,
My sister Mariah Get Slim in the chat said, we are so lucky to have the supportive family we have. And that's one thing I
yes.
do have to touch on because
Right.
my family has been so supportive throughout this whole journey. And I really
Right.
do think that, having a good, solid support system is really helpful. And,
It
if
is.
you can't get it through Joint Fridays, then you will have a supportive family. Okay. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Like, find your people because that's what's going to keep
My
you
nose is
going,
running.
keep you motivated on times where you don't want to, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that I always say that's one of my regrets. There's two. The one that I waited so long to start, and the second
Girl,
is that I didn't start with Join Fridays. Because I
yeah,
just feel like I would be so much further mentally, physically, like because of all the things that they offer. Just the one-on-one nutrition with with Darby was just life changing. And someone says that she just did a live the other day talking about snacks. And I'm like, I've been snacking, right? Like I've been snacking, but information like that is useful because I'm not the only one, right?
yeah.
2 years in, and I don't experience suppression anymore. And so I needed support and I needed education on how to maneuver through that, not receiving suppression anymore. And then sometimes I'm not even satiated. Like sometimes I'll do my jab and I'll be like, it'd be 2 days, 3 days, and I'd be like, I'm in here eating like an animal. Like, am I even on the medication? I know it. I am because my A1C went from an 8.9 to a 5.8, right, and
That,
it's been
that's
steady
awesome.
at 5.8. But I'm in here eating like all the things. And so having the one-on-one sessions is just like, right, let you are, but you're also doing the elliptical for 30 to 45 minutes in the morning. You also walking,
And that's
on
going
your
to,
lunch break.
yeah,
Like
that's going to
you're
make you
supposed it's
humble.
okay. You're supposed to, right? The
Hmm.
medication is still doing what it's supposed to do. And just that whole struggle, like if I didn't have that support or somebody that's knowledgeable telling me that, I would be over here in a whole tailspin, like, what is happening? Right? Like I needed that.
That's
I
ultimately why I ended up, switching to Join Fridays and just loving how much that they do have to offer because, having that at your disposal is just an incredible thing. I really think it's invaluable. Having a dietitian, the one-on-one support. I had my appointment last week and I just left the phone call just feeling so motivated, so amazing. Like she'll set goals for you, and it's like I feel like yes, I'm down 84, but my journey's not over. I still have to lose around 40 to 45, 50 pounds. You know what I mean?
right.
So to be in like the middle, part of my journey, and to have someone still guiding me to like keep me motivated is just so amazing. And
Right.
I was just amazed about how much Join Fridays offered. It was
I
crazy.
know. Me too. But what would you tell somebody if somebody was just coming into their journey, they just picked up their prescription? What are the three things that you would tell them to do starting out in this community, especially, but starting their journey? with churs or sema?
So I always say that one, comparison is the thief of joy. Do not compare your journey to anybody, and be very intentional about what you want out of these meds. Make a plan. Don't just get on the med and say, "Oh, that's it." And then also give yourself grace. Do not sit there and say, "I'm cutting out sugar. I'm cutting out this. I'm cutting out that," because
Right,
that's just gonna make you burn out. For
right.
me, I used to eat out every single day. Okay, McDonald's had me in a chokehold. I don't know what it was, but I don't know. Them Big Macs, good girl. Okay,
They are.
so I used to DoorDash every single day, and like when 2020 happened, me and my daughter did not go anywhere for like 2 years straight. Like, did
Okay.
not leave. She was virtual. I was home, so we were in the house. And so what I had to unlearn was stop. I had to, like, instead of, oh, let me just delete the DoorDash app, I went from, the first week 4 times ordering out during the week, then 3 times, then
Okay.
two, then one. I slowly got myself out of the habit because I've been there before where I'm like, I'm going to do all this. And then, by week 2, I'm burnt out and I'm still back to my old habit.
Right.
So really unlearning the habits that got you to where you want to be is what you need to focus on. And I know not everybody can afford therapy, but
Right.
going on YouTube and searching stuff like how to let go of the all or nothing mindset or how to let go of black and white thinking would really benefit from you because
Absolutely.
that's what holds us back. We're so, well, at least for me, I was so stuck on, oh, if I mess up one meal, I better mess up my whole day. Oh, if I do one thing
Yep.
wrong, it's like my whole journey is messed up. Let me just start next
Yep.
week. And low key, that's just a cop out and it's excuses.
It is.
So it's really like coming into the reality of, building a good routine for yourself because I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to be out here losing weight all my life. You know what I mean? I want to create a good, solid foundation for me so that when I do reach maintenance, it will be good and I will be able to have the routine that I have now and not super something crazy.
Right.
That's what I would say to focus on. And that all is going to come up to you and your journey and your lifestyle. Don't sit there and add 2 hours a day in the gym if you can only do 30 minutes of walking in the morning.
Right.
Do what works for you.
Right. Um, are you one of the supplement girlies? Because you know these people on TikTok will have you in a supplement in a TikTok shop whirlwind, right? So my addiction, because I believe that transfer addiction thing is real.
Yeah.
So I transferred from food to TikTok shop, right? But then I did. It had me like messed up last year, but I kind of calmed down with it, right? And
That's
so
good.
now, um, I'm with the supplements. So I have recently started the NAD plus, and baby, that thing had me sleeping like real good. That NAD plus
Ooh.
has me sleeping like a baby. So I'm doing NAD plus. I told you I'm in menopause, so I'm doing ginkgo. Um, and some black cohosh for hot flashes and all of that. Are you stacking like lipo B, lipo C, NAD? Are you taking any of those?
So I'm not. I'm very curious though. I do have a really not intense, but a great vitamin regimen.
Okay.
And I have been seeing, that out and about and I have been curious about it. But I
Okay.
haven't done any of that yet.
Okay. So last year I was on lipo B and lipo C, and the lipo C helped me break a stall. So I was grateful for that, right? And I'm comparing prices and all of that to get back on that. But that definitely did help me break a stall. So if you have any questions behind the scene, I can tell you about that.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely reach out.
I want to know though, what is one thing that you learned about yourself on this journey that you didn't know about Chelsea before?
Mm. Um, that's a good question. I feel like that I learned how confident I truly can be. You guys see me on live. That's always been my personality, but inside, did I feel that confident? Not so much. But I feel like in the last, like, almost a year at this point, I've truly started to work on myself and realize that all I had to do was let self doubt go and let God, okay, baby?
Right.
And I just found such a powerful leader in myself. I have found such a powerful woman, mom, content creator. Like, I've just found so much stuff in myself when really I was just holding myself back. So I've just found a newfound confidence in myself and truly believing that I can do it, and that's just something different. And I always say that GLP-1, getting on the medication helped me think logically,
Right.
now that my, constant food noise is gone. I feel like
Oh,
that's
well.
what a lot of where my anxiety kind of laid.
Hmm.
And like, so I just feel so much better overall as a person
Right.
because of that.
And I would have to agree, because what kind of threw me for a loop was the food noise, right? I had never
Mhm.
heard that language before. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it existed until I experienced it. And I was like, is this what people in a smaller body
Like, is this
experience on
normal?
a date? Right. Like, I feel like when I say I wish I had joined Fridays earlier, I mean that because I feel like I could have been even earlier than that. I feel like I could have been so much further in life, not just on this journey, if my mind wasn't consumed 80% about what I'm eating for breakfast, what I'm eating for lunch, what I'm eating for snack, what I'm eating for dinner. Like, it consumed my mind so much that it was like, man, I feel like I could have been a millionaire if I had been able to use this creativeness that's in me. Because with me making my videos, that's me letting my creative side out, right? And I feel like I could have been doing this so much sooner or earlier and been so much further in it, because my mind was consumed with food all the time. But then on the other side of that, I believe in divine timing. I believe
Hmm.
that everything that happens for a reason, when it's supposed to happen. So that is me battling my, when I tell you this thing, when I tell you
Yeah.
I needed the support because it was a constant battle back and forth with, like, what my reality is and what I thought it was supposed to be, right? I want to know how your content creation has evolved, right? Because I love your videos. Like, how has your content creation evolved since you've been on this journey?
Um, I think that people are finally watching, because I feel like I was a young mom, so I started really creating content, my daughter's journey. And, I was 16 when I had my daughter. So it started with, me finding content creation because of the Teen Mama little corner we had on YouTube and everything like that,
Okay.
and like getting the support that I needed, and then realizing that, like, my story does matter no matter how little it is. And now that I feel like TikTok is just a different brand, now you can reach
Right.
so many different people. And so I just feel so grateful that I'm able to do that now, because I've always been out here. I literally had a little camera. People used to make fun of my YouTube videos like when I was 16, and like they would just make fun of me. And it's like now people are actually hearing my story and realizing that, maybe you should listen a little bit. I got some good things to say.
Absolutely.
So I really,
Absolutely.
I feel like that now. It's just super fun for me because then I can help people.
Right.
Me losing weight is about me, but it's also like I feel like God is guiding me on a way to get people in the right mindsets right in the morning. That's why I like getting on live in the morning and starting my day and making sure that you guys start your day right,
Absolutely.
because it's a change in mindset, and once you finally get there, it's kind of like you're good to go, you know?
Absolutely. And that was kind of the mindset too behind, like, Team TMI. Let's start our day off with a little bit of shenanigans, some
Yeah.
laughs, inappropriateness, but we're
Yeah.
also working out. Like, most of us are still working out in the morning. And I feel like the way that you start your day sets the tone for the entire day. Because sometimes by the time I'm done with work, I don't know what my evening is going to look like. But I know that I put myself first by getting up and working out, it just moving my body. Even if you just walking around your house, making you some coffee, you still putting yourself first, right?
Mhm.
I want to know what's next for Chelsea. What's going? What do you have? I know you say you're in the middle of your journey, but even outside of that, in and out, what's next for Chelsea?
So I have a lot that I want to do. I love fitness. I've always really, really loved the gym. I was even 282 pounds over there trying to do, crazy burn boot camp workouts. It's always been such a thing that I love. Um, so I am, taking courses to become a personal trainer and
What?
taking, yeah,
Girl, I
and
love
also
that.
taking some nutrition courses just so like I can give my audience, knowledgeable, very educated information,
Absolutely.
because one thing about me, I don't ever want to guide you in the wrong way. And that's why I always tell y'all I'm sharing my journey, but I would love to be able to give more and give back to the people that, have been watching me forever and stuff like that. So I'm currently building like a basement gym in my gym because I just moved into a house. So
Oh,
there's lots to come.
congratulations. You doing all the things. 2025, here she come. That's
Yes,
amazing. Congratulations.
thank you. I appreciate that.
So I love that. And I am one of those people where I'm like, listen, with everything going on in the world, if I see somebody, I'm one of those people. If I'm in the supermarket and somebody have on something cute, I'm like, girl, you wearing that dress,
Yeah,
right?
me.
Like, cause I'm just that's just me. And so I just wanted to have you on here because I wanted to give you your flowers and say thank you. We see you. We appreciate you in everything that you're doing in this community because you could be sleeping in or you could be taking that time to pour into yourself, but you get up and you turn your camera on and you pour into the people that come into your life. And so I just want to say thank you from me
Oh, thank you.
and
I
everyone
appreciate
in the
that.
community. We love you, Chels. And
Oh,
so
I love
keep
you guys
doing what
too.
you're
You
doing.
too. And same for
Please.
you, girl. You're out here. You're even earlier than me, girl. You over here earlier than me, spreading all the love. I love to see it. I truly do.
Thank you. I want to thank you for coming on. If anyone has any questions for Chelsea before we let her go, please put them in the chat. What I forgot, what state are you in?
I'm in Maryland.
You're in Maryland. Okay.
Yeah, where are
Okay.
you?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, I know. I wish
Yeah.
I could go to the meetup so bad.
Yes, meet up June 21st. If you haven't gotten your tickets, please get your tickets.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a time. It's gonna be a time.
Oh, thank
Okay.
you.
All right, Chelsea. Thank you so much for coming on. I
Anytime, girly.
appreciate you guys.
Anytime.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to say, I just want to say thank you for everyone, for all the gifts, for all the shares, for all the likes. I appreciate you more than you know. I want to remind you to let your light shine. Let your light shine without dimming it for anyone or anything because the world needs your light, your love, your grace. Until next time, friends, have a blessed day. Thank you. Bye.